Is it for crypto native people? I think so. I mean, I think it's fun to collect physical things, whether you're crypto or not. I just think there's people that are going to want to collect physically. I think there's people that are going to want to collect digitally. I think there's people that are going to want to collect both. We don't know the answer. What we do know is that we have to do more. This is where I believe we can start. We can start by helping humans understand that they can own something that's digital and unique to them. That's the end of the conversation. We don't have to talk about blockchain. We want people to treat them like a collectible. I would like to see them graded in the future, right? Like I want people to be like, oh my gosh, I have the first Generative Goods edition. I'm looking for people that just think it's a cool looking thing, and then they see the digital as this like nice little feature. They start building a collection around it.
What up, what up? It's Farokh, and we're back at the 106 with Ledger. And of course, the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend. He hates it when I do this kind of stuff, but I know low-key he loves it deep down. Erick Calderon, aka Snowfro. Erick, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, Farokh? Thank you for having me.
Dude.
It's a pleasure to be here with you.
It's always fun to be with you. Honestly, the best part about being with Erick is his hugs. He hugs really tight.
I do like to hug.
Yeah, it's good hugs.
Yeah, hugs are good.
Good quality hugs.
We need more hugs in the world.
I know.
More color, more hugs.
More color, more hugs.
Oh.
Speaking of more color, what are you doing here?
We're doing a lot of things here. I'm speaking tomorrow at NFT Paris.
Okay, same.
I'm
Love that.
excited. Are you doing tomorrow, by the way? You're speaking tomorrow?
I'm speaking both days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
They got me working, man.
I do. So speaking at NFT Paris, doing some fun stuff with Ledger. Ledger did a fun collaboration with us last year where they with Generative Goods, where they put their logo on a generative sunset with an Eiffel Tower. And they have 1,000 cards, and every time they do some fun events, they have some things to give away to people. So we're kind of bringing that back from October. And then Generative Goods is releasing a new collection in Paris called Micro One, and we're kind of sharing that with people here at Ledger before we release it tomorrow at the big fair.
I love that. And so tell us more, like this generative good idea is something that you had to bring, crypto to the masses, to bring mostly generative art to the masses, if I'm not mistaken. So why don't we backtrack that and talk a bit about what Generative Goods is?
Yeah, so Generative Goods is a subsidiary company to Artblocks, and it's meant to provide an on-ramp to everyday people. I think that people really appreciate the idea of digital ownership, but they may not be able to appreciate or understand or comprehend all the things that you need to do to have digital ownership. Download a wallet, get a seed phrase, secure your seed phrase, etc. And so we're just trying to find the lowest common denominator for how people can collect. And what we've kind of settled on is this physical card. We call it a digital artwork access card. It's just a physical card. It's got your digital artwork on it. Generative Goods, of course, everything's generative, so everything is unique. So we mint 1,000, 2,000 like Artblocks style artworks. They're all unique, and then we have them all printed on these physical cards, and then we transfer the NFT onto the physical card, and that becomes your ownership layer. Is it for crypto native people? I think so. I mean, I think it's fun to collect physical things, whether you're crypto or not. You can withdraw the NFT from the card if you really want to have control over it, which I think is important. Obviously, a lot of the on-ramp concepts kind of take custody permanently of your card because it adds complexity. We've allowed you to kind of withdraw your NFT from your card. And I just think there's people that are going to want to collect physically. I think there's people that are going to want to collect digitally. I think there's people that are going to want to collect both. We don't know the answer. What we do know is that we have to do more to get more people interested in what we're doing. And we have to do more not in like trying to create more casino culture. That's great. That's beautiful. That's what the blockchain like supports. But there's already a market for that. We already know that there's a market for that. We need to do things that resonate with everyday people. And everyday people collect things. That's what we do. I've been collecting cards and comic books and lighters and matches since I was a kid.
Rocks. I used to collect little rocks.
Yeah. The dumbest things, right? Like the freest things are usually the best things to collect. So we know that humans like to collect.
Yeah.
We know from punks and other blockchain goods that people appreciate having things that are unique to them. Digital art, the computer screen doesn't care what the pixels show. So showing individual unique objects on a computer screen is free. It doesn't cost any extra to show two different punks than to show different punks. In the physical space, making two things that are unique actually costs more money. There's physical setup time to make an embroidery, let's say, of two different CryptoPunks because you have to digitize the two CryptoPunks.
Right.
That's a process. It can cost $75 to get someone that's really good at it to do it, or it could take a couple hours. And so what Generative Goods is doing also is we're writing the embroidery instructions directly into the fully on-chain NFT. And so we're skipping the digitization side and making it possible to where if you send me an order of 1 million hats and they're all unique, it'll cost me the same amount of money and it'll take the same amount of time than if I made 1 million hats that are all the same. And that is not something that you can do in the physical space very easily. You can do it with printing sometimes, depending on the limitations of the printer. Printed things don't quite have that same quality of like an embroidered good, so we're trying to kind of elevate the quality of the items. And it sounds like embroidery doesn't sound like a really exciting topic, but from a evolution of embroidery perspective, this is revolutionary in the way that we're able to kind of write ready to embroider things directly to the embroidery machine that's compatible with any embroidery machine in the entire world. It doesn't just
You can embroider on anything.
And you can embroider anything that can be embroidered on. In fact, every NFT comes with a downloadable instruction set specifically for like an embroidery company that knows how to embroider. They're going to look at this and be like, what is this? And so it literally, every NFT also comes with like the instructions on what you need to do to embroider it. But once the company has embroidered one of these things one time, they get it. And they think it's actually quite revolutionary as well, because they're used to people coming at them with like a PNG picture of something and them having to go through this whole process of digitizing. Whereas now people come with like these unique things and it doesn't cost them any extra time.
So how do we explain all of this to like the average person that doesn't really understand how do we sell it? How do we sell it to the people, right? Like we talk about on-ramping, like the casino is easy to understand for them, right? You just mentioned it, so I'm going there.
Yeah.
Like meme coins, casinos, that's why it's the biggest, most adopted thing in crypto right now, right? Or I don't want to say something, I guess
it is. It is. Yeah,
because you buy a coin, it goes up, it goes down.
Yeah.
It's like playing blackjack, the roulette,
right.
the lottery ticket. And I think people know that they're buying a lottery ticket. So that's the most adopted layer of crypto right now, right? How do we, but it's not for everyone. Not everybody likes to gamble. I like to gamble, but like the average person doesn't like to go gamble.
I like to gamble. I just don't want to deal with the tax implications of gambling on chain. Like
Well,
that in of itself.
There's that
like,
too, right? Imagine when I'll have to
stuff.
explain to my accountant about my fart coin trade, right? So it's like, anyway, so you have that, right? But there's the other part, which is super cool. Like I really like what you're doing, obviously. But it's like, how do we, like you talk about on-ramping, onboarding, obviously those are big terms, right? In the space that we almost obsess on a lot.
Yeah.
But very few manage to crack that.
Sure.
Like for us, we're trying to do it through media. Very simple.
Exactly.
Everybody likes media. Podcasts, creators, that's what I do. They do casinos. So how do you plan on like getting those people in?
That's what this physical card is. I mean, literally,
it's like a physical card. Tell me more.
It's a physical card. It's got an NFC chip. You tap the NFC chip. It demonstrates. There's this concept of the primary market. It's like when you buy something for the first time.
Right.
The secondary market, which is OpenSea, thriving secondaries for NFTs. And then there's this thing called the tertiary market, which is everything that you can do with an NFT when you can prove ownership of an NFT. So with these cards, you prove ownership of something digital, but you don't have to interact with a wallet. You don't have to. So this is where I believe we can start. We can start by helping humans understand that they can own something that's digital and unique to them. That's the end of the conversation. We don't have to talk about blockchain.
Exactly.
We literally can just say, your life is increasingly digital. We have this technology that allows us to automate production, which is generative, like the Artblocks concept of like generative art and generative content. And so we can now let you own that thing that's digital for the first time in history. We all know that because we own these digital assets for a long time. But most people still don't get it. It's still an attachment to an email. It's still a JPEG on their phone or on their computer. They still have never really kind of made that connection. And when you make that connection is when everything starts to click.
Yeah, of course.
So we just need to help people understand that connection, that they own something digital that's unique to them. And so with Generative Goods, everything that we do 50% digital and 50% physical. So like the micro edition that we're releasing here in Paris, it's a total edition of 4,000, and 2,000 of them are being made in physical collectible cards, and 2,000 you just mint online like a regular mint.
Yeah.
Because part of the transition towards speaking to the new audience is not abandoning the existing audience. Why? Because if you can get the existing audience to give them something that they can talk about with somebody else.
They're your biggest ambassadors.
They become ambassadors. And so these, in Marfa, we did these foil packs where you open a foil pack and you got 3 cards and you didn't know what you were
That's
going to get.
cool.
So people bought boxes of those, then took them home, and over the holidays gave them away as gifts. And multiple people reached out and said, I've been talking about NFTs with these people for 3 years, and they did not understand it until they got this card. So we're onto something. I think we're onto something. But what we need is us crypto people have finally a way to communicate what we do in a way that feels tangible. We need feedback from the crypto people in the way that they engage with non-crypto people. And so to me, the dream is that, you're always looking for something to buy someone that's really hard to buy something for. You can buy from Generative Goods a $20. It feels like a cassette. It feels a little retro. It comes with a digital art item inside. To me, the dream is that the crypto community is buying 1, 2, 3 of these things, giving away as gifts, and watching people's reactions and their faces and coming back with feedback and saying, okay, I think they get it, but it would be nice if you did this. Because the reason it's tough to crack, a lot of people have tried to crack it. It's just a really tough problem. So I don't think that I'm just going to be able to figure it out initially. Generative Goods has been around for 1.5 years now. We've started here. And then we've just narrowed it down and whittled it to this physical collectible card.
Sick card, eh? It's like the silver,
very simple.
Really fun. It feels heavy. Like it's got a nice. Even the card itself is a cool.
I mean, we spent a lot of money on the card. We spent a lot of money on figuring out how to like batch print cards where they're all unique. It just goes back to like being a collector of things and wanting things to stay in. And so we put them in these fancy cases because we want people to treat them like a collectible. I would like to see them graded in the future, right? Like I want people to be like, oh my gosh, I have the first Generative Goods edition. I want to, because these are small editions. They're huge editions.
Watching this, send one to PSA, dude.
I think that'd be pretty fun, right? And these editions feel big, like 4,000 mints, 2,000 digital, 2,000 physical. But if Generative Goods gets to where it's going to get, I think that these are going to be pretty limited, and especially these early editions. And then I guess the side of this that you then have your digital thing, but it automatically is compatible with physical objects, that you can embroider it directly onto a shirt, into a jacket, onto a hat. And so you can represent people wear their CryptoPunk stuff all the time. I see people wearing squiggle shirts all the time, Bored Ape shirts all the time. Those things are awesome to wear, but they're very valuable things in this society. Sometimes we try not to like show some things that are like that, but B, they're like very crypto. It's like saying, hey, I'm in crypto. Can we have a design, IP, some logos like that don't feel like that? They just feel like the polo, horse that everybody has. It's a small little interpretation on their shirt. Something really simple. I would love to do the polo.
Yo, polo, tap in. This is like
Adidas,
the godfather of generative art here, man.
Great. So, there's opportunities to do some fun stuff like that.
I had the Adidas 3 stripes.
Yeah, but the thing is like, we don't want that to be something that goes to our community, because our community is exhausted. They don't, there's no more money to be spent. We want to work with these brands that are interested in presenting this
to the world,
just to regular consumers. Give me a company that's willing to put a rack in their store. One rack is every single shirt has their same logo, and one rack, every single shirt has a unique logo. Does anybody even care about the unique one? I don't know. Like,
I
we
think
know
people will, man.
I think they do. I mean,
I like to buy clothes, like the Farokh outside of crypto. Like I like fashion, I like to buy cool shit. And I like the unique touches and things, Like I want my logo maybe to match my watch. And if you look here, it's blue and it's the blue dial.
There you go.
So you look at the little things. It's the little things that matter.
It's little touches. And I'm not a big brand person. I don't wear big brands. I like to wear little
Forget
things.
The brands, the color.
Little things and little details. I don't know I feel confident that people will express themselves as individuals.
I think they will.
Part of a bigger family. In the non-crypto space.
Yeah.
But I don't know, and I won't know until you walk into a regular store in a regular shopping mall and you're faced with making this decision. And what's been really difficult is there's a lot of brands in Web3, or a lot of external brands looking to get into Web3, but the goal is to generate revenue from Web3 people. And Web3 people, I'm a collector, a founder, an artist. There's just not that much capital left. It's all going to meme coins. The people that are making a bunch of money in meme coins, they're not putting it back into the market the way that kind of flipping NFTs kind of happened in the past, where people would kind of flip into their punk. It's a very different market. It's a very different extraction, right? And so we as the art people, the people that are really here for the art, we're exhausted. Like there's no, there's nothing left.
What kind of did that? I just thought about this. Supreme. The box logo?
Yeah.
So the famous... different colors have different prices.
Supreme is a really great. Oh, really?
Yeah, so they're
That's
rarer.
great.
So
Yeah,
for
yeah.
example, the LV OG Supreme T-shirt's probably like, I'll name a price. I'm probably wrong. Let's say 10 grand.
Oh, wow.
But like the regular one, right, is like probably, I don't know. Let's say
Like the
1,000.
red.
But some of them go to like 50K.
Yeah.
You right?
Were they more expensive at the beginning?
I think they were the same price.
See, that's the beauty of it.
They were the same price. It started like it was a $60
right?
T-shirt, bro. $80 T-shirt, right? Cheap. Like the
Yeah.
stuff you're looking like yours is stuff is like 30
That's
bucks,
the goal.
right? And so it's like it was cheap if you could access it. But then depending, so you got a BOGO, the box logo. But if it's like the blue one, it's that price. If it's that one, so it's been proven that it can work. What you were talking about, just realized it's been proven. But
we just
gotta
need
prove with your
someone
stuff
like
now.
Supreme that
Correct.
has an audience that's good. Like,
Exactly.
let's not use the generative component as like this is what's going to sell, or the crypto component. This is what's going to sell it.
No.
Like, Supreme does an edition of 1,000. They're going to sell it out regardless of what it is. But what if that was like upgraded because it came with also your digital ownership and your digital permission?
They would love
like
that,
a Bobby
though.
Hundreds type thing, right? Like a Hundreds project. Like people that already have capsules that know they're going to sell out. We basically can bring that concept of digital ownership to anything that's going to do that. When that sells out to the masses and the people are excited about the thing they were going to buy, regardless of this is a thesis I have, the digital optional, physical optional thesis, that like people should be able to participate whether they care about the digital or not. If you like this little brand and you want a hat with it and it comes with the digital card and you don't care about the digital, throw the card away. Like, it doesn't matter. Just you have your hat because you thought it was a cool looking hat and you bought the hat. I'm looking for people that just think it's a cool looking thing and then they see the digital as this like nice little feature. They start building a collection around it. Then Generative Goods might say, "Oh, you have a full set of this. We're gonna like one of the things that I really want to do with Generative Goods. We are embroidering in our laundry room and in our garage, right? Like this is we don't want to be an embroidery company, but one thing that would be really fun is to let people send us their thing to have embroidered onto. Because right now we just have generic stuff.
Yeah, right now it's like I get the card, I go on the website,
and you can buy like a hat.
It's a specific hat,
one.
Sure.
We'll expand that eventually. But the idea that you have something that's special to you that we would embroider on,
I would
like
love
that needs to be done very handheld, very carefully. So this is where utility comes into play. Like maybe you build a full set of the micro, which is 6 different cards.
Right.
Probably cost I guess it's about $120, let's say, to collect that set. And when you have a full set, a little button appears and it says, just for full set holders, we're going to let you send us your thing and we're going to embroider it onto it. Like there's little perks, or micro is going to be 10 different iterations. Like this is micro 1, we're going to do 10. Maybe by the 10th one, the only people that can have the 10th is the people that have collected one of every other one. It's very easy to do that because digital things, once you have a generative algorithm, it's IP, like making one punk or making 10,000 punks was, I mean, of course, not the same exact amount of work, making 100 punks or making 10,000 punks would have probably been the same. They could have made it 100,000 punks when they made punks. Like it's just mixing and matching features. So there's this beauty in that, like your investment is in the original algorithm. You spent a lot of time for Ledger. We spent a lot of time making that algorithm. But now if they mint 1,000 or if they mint 1,000,000, there's no additional difference in cost. But the things have inherent sentimental souvenir value to them. And so this is a business model that's really interesting where like the product itself has 0 incremental cost after a certain time. And so in the world of crypto, we're all about rewarding people with utility, but utility costs money. VCon costs money to throw. Like all those different events cost money to throw. But like, can we create something that's so collectible? And even though 4,000 sounds like a lot, like when you have an edition of comic cards, it was millions, Pokemon cards. How many million like Pokemons? Like we're talking like very small editions in terms of collectible things. Can we get to a point where, that 10th edition is so coveted and the only people that can get it are the people that collected the other sets? I think there's something really interesting about that model, and Generative Goods can exploit that while also trying to get things into like consumers' hands. So we're going to keep trying. We have like in Generative Goods, you have the ability to buy a card. You have the ability to buy a mint, like online on generativegoods.com. We created a credit system where you put mint credits in your Shopify shopping cart, and then you check out, and then the credit appears on the website, and you can mint. And so you don't ever have to touch the blockchain. Yeah. And now, hopefully next week, we'll integrate Privy embedded wallets, so you don't even have to have a wallet to mint to. You literally log in, and you mint to your wallet, and then you have the ability to deal with digital stuff without having to touch the block.
Or you can just keep the card. Like I remember you gave me a card in Miami for Art Basel, and then they didn't use it yet, but I love the card.
Yeah, I
Like
think
it's
the
on my
cards are they yeah,
card's sick, dude.
and the infrastructure for collectible cards is pretty exciting
I mean,
because
it's
people have
big.
been
I just got
collecting
cards from
baseball
PSA.
cards. Yeah,
Pokemon. I just received like
I saw
56.
that, man.
I
You have
forgot
a
about
nice little
him.
collection there.
I
That's cool.
forgot about him. Then I realized I left him at the shop 4 years.
Yeah, that's
But
a
point being, like, I like the physical that you gave me, and me, like, maybe I'll embroider it. Maybe I won't even. I don't care. Like, I love the fact that I have the card
Yep.
from you, but some other person may just want to go and embroider it, you know? It's like, it's just, for me, like, I appreciate the collectability of the card, actually. So I really relate to what you said about that. Some people will collect the card itself. Maybe I'll send it to PSA. Maybe I'll be the first
There
one
you
to
go.
go and
Send
send it to PSA and try and get it graded to see. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like the idea of, like, generative goods, so many things, right? So you have, first it's the card that starts as a collectible, but the card has this utility that can then get embroidered into a physical, and then I can play with the digi-physical, which obviously I'm a huge fan of. I know you as well.
Yeah.
So I really like that
Look,
idea.
it's embroidery. We use the word embroidery, but it's really the monogramming industry. Like people literally send their kids backpacks to get monogrammed with little different shapes and different trains. Like
Love that.
you can identify your kid's backpack by, but instead of it just being some generic from a catalog choo-choo train, you actually have this digital thing that could have value in the future, could not have value, but like it's different than the typical monogramming industry. When we're gifted towels for our wedding with like our names and
Yeah.
that's just not our vibe, right? But like the / thing I did with Red Bull, like I
Yeah.
would love my towels at home to have that, right? And when
Sick.
we're having, you know, like we're doing an event where everyone's gonna get like their napkin, their dinner napkin is gonna be embroidered
No.
like a micro. And they're gonna get a little patch on a little card. And so this idea, I walked into my hotel and I took one of these little towels that I had made with the Far West project and I rolled it up and I put it on the sink. It's like when you walk into a hotel, like my dream is that a hotel, a high-end hotel, they buy a bunch of these mints and they pre-embroider the robe and the matching towel. And for like a guest that's like paying big money for a room, they actually have a souvenir that they walk away with like their own thing. It's not that big of a lift. Like it's not that big of a stretch.
It's not much.
We just need to prove it, demonstrate that people are proud and to own these like small IP
There's
things.
hotel owners listening to this. You know how many people I met in crypto, like their families or whatever, are massive hotel owners.
Yeah.
Didn't the Hiltons try to get into NFTs? Come on, tap back in with Snowfro. You know what I mean? Like you have that, or also like, I was thinking about something else, like even little, just little things. Like I love that. It's like a little things that make such a massive difference for people. And I think that people really appreciate in general having that touch. Like, oh, I was thinking like Louis Vuitton. Like when you buy a bag or a purse, you have the option to monogram it.
That's right.
At the store. Like
Right.
all these luxury goods stores, they offer you the monogram in store directly.
Ledger. They're doing that right here.
They're doing it. You could get a Rock Radio laser on
Yep.
your stack.
And this little Ledger card that they're giving away has an option to download a silhouette of it so that you literally could like tap your card and send it to the machine and have it. So this is when you go to Yeti stores, like you literally can go and you pick from all
So
these like.
it's not a new thing.
this
You're not
is
reinventing
new.
a wheel.
We're just giving someone the digital ownership
footprint.
of it, their
Yeah.
own family crest type thing.
But
if you
people like
call it
Family
that way.
Crest. Like people like that stuff already. You're not like inventing something that's never been done. Family Crest has existed for thousands of years, right? Like embroidering. Louis Vuitton's been doing it since 1800s.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But you're adding the blockchain component to it, which is quite abstracted actually, and something special. I love that. Listen, like last question for you, you know, stuff is like I would ask you like, what's next? Like, what's something that you're extremely excited about next for generative goods?
Oh man, there's a lot going on with generative goods. There's a lot in terms of working with brands. Like I finally like it's interesting. I've been talking to friends and other founders about this startup experience that I've had with generative goods, which is very different than like startup of Art Blocks, right? Like Art Blocks was a hobby. It turned into this thing. It kind of exploded on its own. It felt very much out of my control. And now, you know, Art Blocks is continuing to build technology and still like generative goods can't exist without Art Blocks, right? So like continuing to build into these things, but it was like an inverted startup experience in that like you had the success early on and then the bubble kind of popped and now it's just kind of like now it feels like a startup trying to figure out how to find product market fit. With generative goods, it's been a really awesome experience because I felt like I've started with like this broad concept and then over the years just whittled it down into the singular physical card that I feel I could go into like, you know, another dream. Like I'd like to work with REI. You've got the canoe department, and like they have a little generative canoe hat, and then you walk into like the fishing department and you have some little generative fishing
that.
thing. Like why do I need to buy a hat that has the same shit in every single department, whereas I can do this thing, and then if I canoe and I fish, now I have two hats that are the same vibe, but they're all unique, and I start collecting my cards. I don't know. Like, I think there's an opportunity with this physical thing where I'm checking out at REI, and then this register where they have the gum and all the like little tchotchkes.
REI,
It's
come on,
also like
tap
this little
in.
physical thing. So that's what I'm excited about. I recently rebuilt the entire Generative Goods website. Also something I'm excited about, a lot of the tooling that AI brings. So I've basically built with Cursor a website that uses 3 databases and multiple, like a crazy thing that probably would have cost $500,000, if not $1 million, to have somebody build for me. Built it all myself in like 6 weeks with Cursor. It's insane. And I'm not a coder anymore. I did when I started Artblocks. What I'm excited about is like when we can keep now building, like testing and tweaking and whatever, we can literally do anything for any brand at this point. Any brand has any idea of how they want to get this not to our audience. I'm going to be I continue to be like a dog protecting like anybody that's trying to sell to the crypto space, but to their audience, it's a big win. It's about being additive in crypto, and one of the things about being additive in crypto is like selling things outside of crypto because it shows people what we do. It just brings more people in. So to answer your question, there's just being able to continue to refine, being able to continue to whittle, finally having like a physical product that I'm really excited about, and the new Generative Goods experience, the whole website. I'm really excited about all of it coming together.
Love that. So generativegoods.com.
Yeah, generativegoods.com.
I love that.
Straightforward.
All right, generativegoods.com. If you're all these brands, if you're finding it, or if you're watching this and you're part of those brands, you work for them, your mom and dad owns them, come on. Reach out to me or reach out to Snowfro.
Thanks, Farokh.
You know, let's make it happen. Shout out to Ledger for allowing us to use their studio always. It's Farokh, Rug Radio, Art Block, Generative Goods. Peace out.